There's a lot of mythology around the Twitter deal. Elon's fanboys impute a lot of intention to his purchase of Twitter. But that's just the start of the mythology. When I cover the Twitter deal, I get a lot of questions about things like whether it is an unusual deal. It is. First of all, did Elon want to buy Twitter? The answer is yes, very much, and in a hurry, and then no, but too late for no. We will come back to this question to fill in some details, but first we need to ask, did Twitter's board want to sell Twitter? The answer is probably no, but they got an offer they couldn't possibly turn down. Elon's offer to buy Twitter was so attractive that the board, even though they had doubts about Elon, had to do their best to close the deal. What was their best? Vijaya Gadde, Twitter's chief legal officer, hired a really good law firm, Wachtel, Lipton, Rosen, and Katz. These guys are legends, and we'll get to why that is in a little bit. First, let's finish answering why Twitter had to sell itself to Elon. Elon bid so high that if Twitter's board did anything but do their utmost to close the deal, they would have been sued by Twitter shareholders into oblivion. Elon offered the shareholders so much money that Twitter's board would have had to move mountains to close the deal. Elon apparently didn't realize that he had just jumped into the deep end of leveraged buyouts without his floaties on, and immediately began thrashing around trying to get out of the pool. Was the Twitter deal a particularly large LBO deal? Recent news coverage says the Twitter deal is one of the worst LBO deals in history, partly because it is actually one of the largest LBO deals in history. We'll get back to why it's one of the worst in a little bit, but first we're going to finish answering why the lawyers are legends. We started out with the question, did Elon want to buy Twitter? Yes, very much so, and at a price that gave Twitter no choice but to sell. Could Elon, who was at the pinnacle of his wealth at the time, buy enough lawyering to get him out of the deal? He tried. He hired Skadden, Arps, Slate, Meagher, and Flom, the preeminent tech M&A lawyers. At that point, Twitter's board was not just one step ahead. The deal was so airtight, so ironclad, so bulletproof, that despite about 6 months of trash-talking, dithering, and spending $100 million on lawyers, Elon was faced with a sure defeat in Delaware Chancery Court, which is definitely not Elon's happy place. Before we wrap up, let's quickly revisit why the Twitter deal is one of the worst LBO deals in history. Typically, the firms financing an LBO deal want to sell the loans quickly. LBO lenders make money doing deals, not holding on to loans and collecting them. If they can't sell the loans, it's bad. It's like stale inventory clogging up the warehouse. Loans that can't be sold are called hung debt. When you do a deal and it ends up as hung debt, it's embarrassing. It's a sign you didn't know what you were doing. How does this end? Literally days before the trial was supposed to start, Elon announces, "Never mind, I'll buy it. Let that sink in." So yes, Elon wanted to buy Twitter, and no, he didn't. He spent $100 million on lawyers trying to turn his tantrum about buyer's remorse into reality. They had done all the work the richest man on the planet could fund to be ready to litigate one of the biggest M&A cases ever, and their client rage quits. When you hear some Elon fanboy claim, "Oh, it's all great," no, it isn't. There was no plan. It isn't going to get better. It's just a rich guy who did something monumentally stupid and regretted it and lost tens of billions of dollars as a result. There's no way to make that sound good.